So, I am doing this on behalf of an old friend of mine whose brother wants to take up karting. A very bold but very good decision, if you at least want to know how to race. No. It is important to say that there are a few things in here that are different. First of all, this is definitely not a kart circuit. I'm just choosing one circuit that has a lot of curves and can be used as one. It's tight enough to be one. Second of all, I'm using a shifter kart, which is only for the absolute advanced people. These karts have 6 speeds. Normal karts, ranging from baby to seniors, have 1 speed. Besides, shifters are way faster. So first thing you need to know is that a kart is absolutely not a normal car. So let's start. You normally have no TCS on a kart and no speeds, so it is good to know that you should always get in your tires. Always follow a good short line and avoid the curves or grass, because if you don't, you get this. So, rule number 1 of karts, never touch grass. Remember, you're always seeing it like this. And always remember that this is not a car. This in here does not have the power, the torque, and the differential. And you have to get used to it. Try and be nice and clean. And always remember, this is a shifter. From baby to seniors, they'll all be different sizes and speeds and power. And these karts normally don't have speeds, but this is the most professional one you can get on the market. If you're in a straight line, try to get as straight as possible steering. And sometimes you don't have to brake, but you do have to let go. Here you do have to brake. It's important to study the circuit first and do it well, because else you are guaranteed you will not win. If you really want to take it up in karting good, then also I should warn you about the money. Single session outdoors with a kart on a respectable level team already costs up to $550 if you're watching in USA, and 500 euros if you're watching in Europe. Another important rule, never brake and accelerate at the same time, because else this happens. Your engine gets overheated, and you are nearly guaranteed out of the race. Again, never touch grass or barriers, or else this will happen. I would have been dead there. There are more than enough cases of fatality. And also, watch very good your gas. Because if you run out of it in a race, bad luck. Besides, it's also kind of a gamble what engine you choose in this sport. There are 2 types, the OK and the X30. The X30 are slower, but have the pro that you can put the cart back up to speed when you get out of the track. The OKs are way faster and way more powerful, but once they are in the grass, it's a certain DNF. You can't start them again. You need people to push you. So comment in chat if you have done any of this before. Obviously not at this circuit, but karting in a good outdoor kart. Doesn't matter if baby, junior, cadet, senior or junior. I don't care. Just comment if you already did. You should also always know the principles of racing, like apex, turning point, straight speeds, differentials, car mechanics, etc. And as always, avoid the grass at any cost. The curbs are also a danger zone. I feel like I've been repeating a bit of my things, but it's honestly true. This happens when you touch a curb or grass or a barrier at any track, and I say really any. I don't care if it's in America or Europe, at any track this happens. I gotta watch my language a little, so please consider subscribing, it would help me out a lot. Remember, it's free and you can always change your mind. Karts are not real race cars. They don't have true setups. The only thing they can change is the gears they have in the rear axle and the engine. The more teeth in a gear behind, that means that the car will have a slower acceleration, but a way higher top speed than other cars. The lower the gears, your kart will have a way slower acceleration, a way faster acceleration, sorry, but will also have a very, very low top speed. The ideal combination is around 15 in engine and 62 in axle. It's a bit like downforce in F1. You have to gamble if it's good. If it's a circuit like Monza, go for the larger ones. If it's a circuit like Monaco or Azerbaijan or Singapore, then go for the small gears. It's also strongly advised to take caution with what tires you choose. You also have, like in true motorsports, soft, medium and hards with the same consequences. With softs lasting less but having more grip, and with hards lasting more but having less grip. Obviously, if it's wet, you should consider the conditions if it's good for intermediates or full wets or even already for slicks. But remember, in karting you will immediately feel the difference between used or new or hard, medium, soft. It may take out over 2 seconds of your lap time in a normal circuit of a mile long, or 1.6 kilometers. And also, if you are not shifter, always keep your hands on the steering wheel. Always. Don't try and go like, look that, no hands. always keep both hands on the wheel. Watch, now I have one hand on the wheel. And that happened. Nearly lost control, could have died. This save could have only been possible if I had two hands on the wheel. Oh, an important thing. If you are racing a car that is junior or higher, Rotax, OK or X30, always use the radiator. The radiator cools the water, which cools the engine. It has a water pump on the axle. We'll get into the technical details of a kart later. But that water is of life or death, because if the engine overheats, you are losing performance. In the start of practice, always cover up your radiator to the full, so that the engine can warm up very fast. Once you're in the practice for a bit of time, consider to lift the curtain a little bit. That covers the radiator. So it's also strategy in a race. You can only lift one hand off the steering wheel in straights. So straights is the only place where you can do that safely. And I'm talking about experience. By the way, don't get too scared if you get an airborne crash. These are pretty common in karting. I already saw the example happening on Genk if you look for it. Always remember the basics of racing. There are other videos for that, although I feel like it couldn't hurt to explain what apexes are. That's turning points for each turn, each curve. Makes the distance be less, which makes the time be quicker. For example, here is the apex, and in this turn you have to always be smart, and the apex would be around here. Always try and go for the late apex before a straight, if possible. Ignore that sentence if you are in defense. So, always get to the late apex in straight, because you will be guaranteed of a higher top speed in that case. As always, try and stay on track. That is the one lesson I'm trying to tell. And even I can't handle it on the sim. I'm more common in real life. If you are willing to drive two-tact cars, two times cars, then you should hear everything I said. If you're trying to ride four times, then kind of harsh actually, because four times karts are way slower and way easier to handle than two times. The only reason two-time karts exist is because they're much faster and are the entry ticket to Formula 4, 3, 2, and eventually, if you got money and luck, Formula 1. So if you have the money and really want to make it to the bigger leagues, use two-tack cars. If you want to drive for fun and don't want to spend too much money, go for four-tacks. There are enough kart centers in Belgium that do this. Four times is something anyone can do. Two times is something that only people who really want it can do. Only people who have the money and the guts to do it can do two times. And obviously the condition. Oh, and one last thing. See in the steering wheel, the micron as we call it in the kart, the chronometer that tells the time and the speed, RPMs, temperatures, etc. Ignore it. That's all we are saying. Ignore it when you can. Only watch it if you are really willing to see your top speed on a straight. Never in the curves. Do not let it distract you. Oh, and by the way, you do not have team radio in karting. The only way the team can communicate to you is through the pit wall. And you have to rely on yourself to be good and quick. Also, again, please consider subscribing. It will help me out a lot. It's free and you can always change your mind later. Dream quote. Always check the fuel. Tire temperatures in karting are not worth checking. It makes such a minimal difference that it's not even worth. In other motorsports, yeah, maybe. But not in karting. Oh, and in four times karts, do not brake. Simple as that. Try and not brake, or brake the least as possible, because they're actually so slow, practically any circuit is too slow for it. The four-tack cars here at the Nürburgring wouldn't exceed the 40 kilometers per hour mark. Even a Fiat 500, the literal worst car in the game, could beat it. Oh, and one final thing. Always lower your helmet visor. It doesn't matter if you wear glasses or contact lenses. Always lower it down. It's for your own safety. If you get a fly or a stone or a piece of rubber or debris in your eye at 120, I can assure you, you'll be blind. Not that I am, but I've seen people who it happened. I know people that had it happen. I know I'm being very instructive in this video, so I would like to make it up to you. Comment in this video what you think I should do next to teach people. Something of Minecraft, something of racing, something of general culture, knowledge, anything. I can't do it on this channel. Alright, so believe that could be it for all I say on the channel. For now. Watch, I nearly completed the driving marathon talking about this. Let's see. Is there anything else I can do? Nope. Nope for this stream. Well, stream's over. See you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. And again, consider subscribing. It would help me out a lot. It's free and you can always change your mind.